Back with another banger after the last video did so well. We're going to be taking another look at some Steam, and I'll say this with very loose quotation marks, shovelware. We got a slightly smaller selection of games this time, but I think I'm going a little bit more in depth. Starting us off with a horror game, O27. O27 has you playing as a girl searching for her friend Chris, who went missing years prior. The game places you in a dark, abandoned hospital. So dark, in fact, I had to close my curtains just to see it. The game tells you to look for clues about Chris's disappearance. And I did. I looked around, checked every door, found nothing. There were some portraits of different coloured squares that showed up numbers when clicked on, and there was a keypad right across from them. So you would think that that would mean put the numbers into the keypad, but apparently not, because it wouldn't let me interact with it at all. The game offers you 3 movement options: crawling, walking, or running. Walking seems awfully fast, so I opted to crawl, presuming that maybe being too fast would draw attention to me from any possible threats. This was not the case, however. In fact, when I started to give up, I decided to sprint around the place. Nothing happened, except all the doors became kind of loose from their hinges. Didn't realise my legs had the strength of a Super Saiyan, but other than that, the only notable thing was the fact that the frame rate had a real problem when I stared at this wall. I'll give it a 2 out of 10. 100 Kills Challenge Demo. Now, when I downloaded this one, I wasn't actually sure what I was going to get, mostly because of the word demo. 100 Kills Challenge Demo is an online FPS, much like Call of Duty. I looked for a match, and I couldn't get one. Presumably this demo is now offline, and hell, I doubt many people are even playing the full release, and I'm not really willing to pay any money to find out. I did boot up an empty lobby, and well, something feels awfully familiar about this place, but I just can't quite put a finger on it. Despite how much inspiration has been taken from other games, it looks and feels okay. There's sprint, crouch, leaning, typical FPS mechanics, but it has one odd control choice. The scroll wheel doesn't change your weapon, so you actually have to select which one by hitting 1, 2 and 3. Yeah, there's only so much you can say about a game you can't play. I'll give this a shaky 4 out of 10. Christmas Infinity. A little out of season, I know. In fact, why I didn't put this in the video that actually released at Christmas is a mystery. Anyway, this one has fairly nice presentation at least, but it's pretty lacking in actual gameplay. It's just a simple clicker game. Click a bunch, get upgrades to automate clicking, click more, upgrade, get bored, uninstall. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this kind of game. I feel it's pretty lazy a lot of the time, and eventually they all seem to have microtransactions. Having said that though, I didn't see any in this game, and it actually does have a little bit of charm to it. The visuals are quite cosy, and when you go to quit it gives you this. I don't know, that gave me a chuckle. This one's competent, but barely a game. I'll give it 4 out of 10. Now this is an interesting one. We all know Cool Math Games, but did you know there's a Cool Math Games the game? Apparently so. I downloaded this a while ago and forgot about it. I wasn't sure at first if it was even officially licensed, but it's hosted on coolmathgames.com, so I presume it must be. The game is a fairly short point-and-click puzzle type, with the player assuming the role of a new intern at Cool Math Games HQ. You're tasked with helping a colourful cast of co-workers as they prepare for the release of a new game on the site. But since you're an intern, your first task is making smoothies, which come from a smoothie hole? As someone with a level 1 food hygiene certificate, I have to say, this doesn't meet legal standards. Once you hand out the smoothies, you have to explore the office to collect parts of the new game, after the Make Game machine broke. The more you explore, the more references to the Cool Math Games site you see. I'm sure if you were a Cool Math connoisseur, this would be really nostalgic, but I was more of a Friv guy back in the day, so it doesn't really do it for me. That being said, the game is really well made, and has some funny gags, like the terrifying smoothie hole, and there's some funny dialogue too. In fact, it's quite impressive just how many dialogue choices the game gives you. I don't really think they make much of a difference, but it's good for a laugh. The game's pretty short and can be beaten in about 20 minutes. Granted, I'm not sure how much content I missed since I only collected half of the game parts. Overall, this game was solid. I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. The Traveller, or perhaps the Travelier since it's misspelled, is a 2D continuous run game. Okay, I'll be honest, I spent almost 2 hours sitting playing this game determined to reach the high score, and I didn't even make top 50. This game is good. It's simple, addictive, but it feels like it lies to you. I swear to God, some of my highest scores came really early on, then every time I tried to beat them it seemed like the distance I was travelling per second just kept going down, like Gojo hit me with the Infinity or something. The game's pretty self-explanatory from the background gameplay, so I won't go too far into detail with it, but there are some things I'd like to mention. First, the fact that your jump resets when you touch anything and not just when you land makes everything flow so much better than it would without it. Second, and something that's not so great, the game doesn't seem to let you pause, so if you're in the midst of a generational run and you get a knock at the door, you'd better pick your option wisely. Third, what is the dash used for? You can't use it mid-air, so it seems kinda useless. Anyway, I highly recommend this game. It's absolutely not shovelware, despite what the video title and the intro might suggest. I give this game a solid 7 out of 10. The Trio takes our last spot, a survival game with some, let's say, familiar mechanics. You play as one-third of a trio surviving in a cabin in the woods. You need to collect materials to help protect yourself from the harsh conditions, but by the looks of things, you should be more worried about the giant fucking skeletons chasing you around. You don't seem to be able to punch trees yourself, so you're mostly relying on your NPC friends to chop down. It just fell through the map. I was starting to doubt that I could call this video Steam Shovelware, but I think the Trio just came in clutch. So it seems the game boils down to picking up sticks and hoping you remember the low-res crafting recipes from the boot-up screen. I made this, no clue what it does, managed to beat a couple of skeletons and then I died. Don't think this one is one I'll be coming back to anytime soon. I'll give it a 3 out of 10 for the funny shit. And that's it for today. But before I end the video, I just wanted to say this. Some of these games probably shouldn't be described as shovelware. So, for the next video, I'll probably try and get a real batch of shovelware. Preferably paid stuff, since the term is typically used to describe games that are trying to make a quick buck. But, with that being said, I think that's me done for the day. Remember, hit all the buttons below, and goodbye.